Hi, and welcome back to David Pattinson's Accused Friends. Today I want to preview the upcoming John Leslie trial, which is going to be at Southwark Crown Court in London. And before I do that, I wanted to offer a disclaimer. Some people would have seen in the news about the Tommy Robinson case, where he wore the t-shirt that said convicted of journalism, and I don't want to be convicted of journalism. I want to talk about the John Leslie case, and then I want to do another video about it afterwards, telling people what happened. I'm not trying to influence the case in any way. I have no information about the John Leslie trial that is not in the public domain already, and my position on trials is that every juror should follow the judge's direction to the letter. If any jurors in the John Leslie trial do see this video, my message to them is exactly the same as that. In all trials, my position is always that every British citizen should be granted the right to a fair trial, and everyone should be presumed innocent until proven guilty. And the reason I do these videos is because Alison Saunders did not have that belief when she was head of Crown Prosecution Service. As far as the citizen's right to a fair trial went, she used the media to gin up hype around the guilt of the accused, and fermented guilty messages through the media to prevent a citizen's right to a fair trial. Once the trial had begun, she manipulated evidence or suppressed evidence that would have cleared the accused. So, as far as perverting the course of justice goes, Alison Saunders is, the biggest criminal of that offence in our country, in my opinion, and I am not. So that's the disclaimer I wanted to add at the beginning of this video, and I hope that's sufficient. Moving on to the John Leslie trial then, this is somewhat interesting. He had a case last year in Edinburgh, and he was accused of groping a bride at a hen do, and it went to trial, and he was acquitted following CCTV evidence that was presented at the trial that showed he did not commit this offence. And John Leslie went on the This Morning Show in Great Britain, and talked about how these false allegations had kind of reached a critical mass now and were totally out of control. And I felt like that message really jived with my Citizens Prosecution message. So I reached out to John Leslie through his representative, who turned out to be not a nice guy, kind of a slimy guy. And the message that came back was that John Leslie did not want to have anything to do with the Citizens Prosecution in any way, and as is his prerogative. And that's really the only connection I've ever had to John Leslie. So for the record, John Leslie is not involved in the Citizens Prosecution of Alison Saunders, but I am. So, that's where we differ. But this case of his in 2018 was obviously, a false accusation. He has another few legal issues in his background that I want to raise in this video, in the interests of context. He was arrested on suspicion of rape and questioned by the police in 2008, but was not charged. He also had a case in 2003 of assaulting a woman, where he was charged, and it did go to court, but as soon as it got to court, the prosecution dropped all charges against him when evidence or information from the woman came forward to change their view about John Leslie. So he had charges dropped in that incident. And then in 2002, a former girlfriend of his and celebrity Ulrika Jonsson wrote an autobiography saying she was raped at age 19. She did not name the rapist in her book, but a member of the British media came out to say that she was referring to John Leslie. And police investigated John Leslie about this, but did not charge him. And the police also tried to question Ulrika Jonsson about this, but she did not cooperate with the police in any way. So there was, as far as the British public go, we still don't know who the Ulrika Jonsson rapist was, and any questions about that should go to her. So as far as the upcoming John Leslie trial of 2019 goes, this is a case accusing John Leslie of sexually touching a woman over her sweater at a nightclub in London in 2008. And two questions come to mind for any reasonable journalist on this. First one is, if this was an offence in 2008, why is it coming to trial in 2019? And I'm sure there's a perfectly reasonable explanation to that, which I'm looking to find out about. And the second question is, if a woman committed this same offence against a man, would she be going to a Crown Court trial? And, as we have an equal justice system, I'm sure the answer to that is an unequivocal yes. So I wanted to just set the framework of this case that's coming up. This video is being filmed on Wednesday, August 21st, and it's the day before the John Leslie trial. That's tomorrow. So we hope to have this out on the internet before the trial begins. And I hope to be able to cover the case and bring you my views on it subsequent to that. So, hope you find this interesting. Thanks for watching David Pattinson's Accused Friends, and we'll see you soon.